Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our press conference following our first of two races of the Pro Mazda Championship here at the Allied Building Products Grand Prix of Houston. I can speak on behalf of our drivers saying that it's absolutely beautiful to be in the air conditioning right now. This is very nice, and I think everybody else is digging it as well. Very hot temperatures out there. Of course, our drivers really running essentially at the heat of the day here on a track that was pretty slippery, pretty challenging, and of course with the chicane we run, a little bit of a challenge as well. Let's move down and start with the driver scoring the win in the expert category here today, Jay Horak in the number 37 Auto Ingenuity car. Jay, you're going to be pretty pleased. You ran really strongly today. What were your thoughts on your performance on the racetrack and the track surface itself today? Can you get close to the mic for me?
You know, this circuit was a little hard for me. I've done street circuits, but I didn't have the confidence to really get in deep into some of these corners with a lot of speed. And I started building it up at the end there and feeling a little more comfortable. But I'll tell you, this is definitely one I'll remember. This was one heck of a race. It was very challenging for me. Woo! And I'm glad I did come out for it.
Do you find, obviously, you guys didn't get a lot of lap times either in your sessions. That was one of the big things, of course, qualifying being shut down to, 3 or 4 laps. So you really, for you to be able to get more comfortable with the racetrack, you really didn't have that time on track. A full 20-minute session here, except for that one yellow flag for a little bit of a breather. Do you feel like you've reset your bar in terms of your baseline corner speeds, that kind of thing, and you'll be able to attack more tomorrow?
Well, we had, for me, the first day I only got 3 laps because we had an overheat. So today was really the bulk of all my time, and then we lost a little bit of it early on. So the race, I would say 90% of all my track time was this race. And it was a little nerve-wracking because, you know, I didn't really do my homework on the circuit. So when I came out here, it was a lot of memorization. And I guess it was a lot was going on with the brake zones, the turn-ins, the blind corners, and whatnot to really get that pedal down. It was tricky.
You're going to have a lot to digest, I think, this evening. There's no doubt about that. Going back with the guys and talking about the data, do you think you'll be able to find quite a bit of time tomorrow now that you have it in your head?
Oh yeah. Actually, I'm going to change the car setup a little bit. I think we're too stiffly sprung. There was a couple times I'd come down just before the main straightaway. I could actually get the rear wheels to lift, and I'd hear the engine wind up, so I'm tapping the brake to keep that from biting in and kind of pitching the car. And there were a couple things, but now that I got up to speed, I would have really liked to do this in the first day where we had a chance to set our car up better for the circuit.
Well, good luck tomorrow with a car that will maybe a little less nasty for you. Moving over to the driver who finished in the 3rd position, part of what essentially was the best battle on the racetrack, and that was for 4th on back to probably 7th, and eventually was able to get up and get by Shelby Blackstock. Nicholas Costa, congratulations. That was a very, very good battle between yourself and everybody behind you, Ferreira and Pedrohita. Then talk about the late race charge. You were able to close up on Shelby very quickly and made a really good pass. You must be happy with 3rd.
Yeah, the race was quite hard in every sense, but I think especially physically, because for me to struggle with heat is really hard because I'm from a really hot city. But I can say today I think was the toughest race physically for me because it's so humid and so hot. But inside the track was great. It was really fun. We exchanged positions a lot of times with several drivers, and in the end I was able to carry good momentum and close up on Shelby and finish on the podium. So I'm pleased. I'm very pleased for that podium, especially because we were never in the top 3 in the practices. So to be able to charge for the podium in the race is unbelievable, and I really have to thank everybody that made me come back to Pro Mazda, Team Pelfrey, everybody that works with me, Luigi, my family that supports me every time, and I'm just over the moon to be here today, and I have to thank everybody that cheered for me and helped me.
Nicholas, congratulations, man. Well done. Great job today. Over to the driver who finished 2nd today. He and Brabham battled all last year in USF 2000. This year, not quite as much battling, but a great run for you today, Spencer Piggott, into 2nd position. Good start. You were able to get out nicely and grab that P2 spot. And you actually said to me that you thought you might have been closing up near the end there. Your car pretty solid on the longer runs. Maybe a challenge if we knocked on yellow?
Yeah, I don't know. It's always tough racing against these guys, and at the beginning of the race, I was able to get by Shelby on lap 2, so just trying to catch up to Matt. And this is the first weekend in a long time we've been this competitive, so it's just good to be up here fighting for podium positions. Before the yellow flag, there was a little bit of traffic, and I thought I might have closed the gap a little bit, but we just struggled a little bit at the beginning of the runs. But overall, it was a good race, and happy to be back on the podium.
with you and Nicholas both showing good speed, you feel like you'll be able to go back into the trailer, sit down, and go over some data, and maybe find quite a bit more speed for tomorrow, like going over both maps?
Yeah, definitely. That's always the plan, to go back and look over everything and improve. So that's what we'll do. I'm sure these Andretti guys will be doing the same thing. So it's not going to be easy, but we'll see how we can improve for tomorrow.
What are your thoughts on the racetrack itself? You're pretty happy with the way the racetrack is? I know most of the drivers are pretty excited about running it. They like the track as opposed to maybe just the chicane, but the track itself pretty exciting to run on.
Yeah, it is. I actually quite like the chicane. It's really sketchy going through there. They made it quite a lot quicker than it was yesterday, so we're flying in and out of the tires, and I thought it was a lot of fun. The track's got some good slow corners and some good fast sections as well. So it's not a typical street circuit, but I find it a lot of fun.
Nice. Good marks for the racetrack here.
Thanks.
Okay, let's move over to this driver we've done this with so many times this year. A record number of victories on the Pro Mazda Championship, already clinched the title. Matthew Bradlam, you come in here with the weight of the world off your shoulders. You've already got the championship, all for fun, as you said. But of course, we're all racers, and you're here to win. You're here, even though there's no pressure. You're here to win. Did it feel a little different for you this time? Obviously, starting on pole again, like you've done so many times this year. Was there just less pressure even on the start?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I was just kind of trying to keep my head clear and not think about it too much. But I think, the person that's got the least pressure on is my dad this weekend. So, last year when it came down to the wire with Spencer and I, my dad was wearing the bottom of his shoes off. So it's nice to kind of, ease the pressure off my family a little bit, watching it from the outsides. I know they get a little bit more worked up than I do. So, I just kind of went with the flow this weekend. And yeah, I mean, it's been just having fun and enjoying it while it lasts.
Track, same for you. You enjoy the racetrack and even the chicane itself?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's such a great track. I always love the challenges. I loved Baltimore last year, and even though it was really, really bumpy like this track, so I find it a lot of fun, and it's very challenging. And I think, with the bumps and how the track is, it kind of separates the really, really, really good drivers from the good drivers. So I think it's a great track, and it's a wonderful to drive on.
To cap it off, you commented the track was actually quite slippery from the very beginning. You said you were a little loose a couple times. I saw that on the big screen. Comment on that. The track was a little sketchy early?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not sure if it was the heat or what the IndyCar rubber went down previously before our session, but yesterday there was a lot of grip, and I kind of went in on the first lap expecting there to be the same grip level, and it was like ice almost. And I had a very sketchy moment going into turn 3 there with Frioli behind me. I almost lost it. So yeah, it was one of those moments where you just have to kind of tone it down a little bit and drive a lot more carefully through the track and not rag it as much, I guess.
Hey, congratulations on another win. Well done. Great to have you guys here, and wish you all the best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Everybody has any more